Hello, I'm Alan Williams and I'm with Dave Stubberfield. We're the co-authors of Supercharging the Customer Experience. And in our book, we talk about how we live in a very dynamic environment, how things are changing very fast all of the time. So what does the future hold for the space of customer experience?
I think it's hybrid working. It's that combination of physical and digital. I think we've moved into a space, and we've probably pushed into that space after COVID, where people work remotely. But there's also the benefit of face-to-face. I think face-to-face delivery of the development program is critical, but it's not impossible to do it digitally either. And people consume content at in different ways that suits their learning needs. So I think for me, it's that combination of hybrid working and understanding what people truly need in order for us to deliver the experience too.
So I think what you've referred to there is a focus on and rather than or. So, you mentioned physical and digital, for instance. I was talking just last week to some people about how they've got a series of events in America. And we were talking about how we might enable a visitor in Denver to be able to access not only that event in person, but also be able to access the event in Los Angeles virtually and a virtual experience as well, centrally. So instead of it being regarded as one or the other, it's this thing around incorporating everything. What about omnichannel? Because that's getting a lot of press at the moment, isn't it?
It really is. And I think in recent years, again, I would say that the pandemic pushed us to omnichannel. Before that, it was probably multi-channel. But
what's the difference?
So multi-channel is having the different opportunities to engage with your customers. Omnichannel is having a consistent flow regardless of what channel you use. So that interaction stays the same. So you don't want a different website interaction compared to face-to-face or a different branding. So you don't want to confuse the customer. You don't want your chatbot to sound very different to how a customer service rep might sound. So it's having that consistency throughout. And I think the future of that is creating really tailored, personalized experiences. And with the use of AI and augmented reality now entering the frame, the future really is kind of limitless.
Yeah, and in the book we talk about how the customer experience needs to be consistent, irrespective of time, geography or channel. So that plays to the omni-channel piece. And then the final bit I would add is, you might expect me to say this, but the thing about shared values. And for me, going forward, values are going to become even more important, and customers are going to want to associate and have relationships with organizations that they have an aligned sense of values with.
Absolutely agree. And I think that proves its point that people don't necessarily go for the cheapest option anymore. They're willing to pay more based on an organization's values. You look at something like Fairtrade, people go and buy those products because of that stamp, that mark, because of what it stands for, regardless of what the price point might be. So I think you're absolutely spot on with shared values.
Yeah, and that seems to be a contradiction, because we've just written a book about customer experience, and here we are saying it's not just about the customer experience.